Okay, I have never played Enthusia Pro Racing before. I've never heard of it before. I don't know anything about it. I am pretty bad at racing games, certainly not used to them. Currently playing through Forza Motorsport 4 and getting my ass kicked by it. Interested to check this one out. I don't know if the audio balance is okay. I'm going to go ahead and start it here. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Yeah, it's the... emulator screen. Booted the game up to make sure that I had all my key bindings set up. Back when Konami made games. If you believe you can, therefore you can. Anonymous. This is the most incredible opening cutscene in the history of video games. It's gonna be a little quiet. I'll turn up the air here. Love the like CG cars, but in like a real place, digitally inserted into photos. Also, this guy. So when I booted this to test it and get my key bindings, and I saw that opening quote from Anonymous, and I was like, I need to skip this cutscene. I have to see this for the first time on stream. The girl in the window. That was art. That was, it's not done yet! Best opening cutscene of all time. I don't think there's even anything close. Okay. Enthusia. So I don't know anything about this game. I don't know like how it is. It like arcadey? Is it simulationist? I think we're doing Driving Revolution, right? That's the mode you want me to check out here. And it defaults to that on the title screen. Okay, in this mode, players must hit the indicators at the designated speed. The music is great. This is the indicator. Bar inside will move up and down. Color of the indicator and the bar change accordingly. Adjust speed to hit the indicator. And the color is green and the bar is at the center. Okay. Blue indicator means the car lacks speed. Orange means the car is going too fast. This gauge shows the distance between the car and the indicator. Indicator with a wave bar is acceleration. Driving through the indicator faster than their designated speed will receive the highest rating. Brake indicator. Okay. This is already super odd compared to the racing games I've played. This is the DR gauge. Increases when you rate high, decreases when you rate low. It decreases severely when you collide into the fence. Okay. Got it. Ocean Bridge. I feel like I've seen there's like a modern like mobile game that involves braking suddenly on what looks like a bridge like this. I saw somebody post a video of it on Blue Sky. Okay, I want to be in the center. What a weird concept. Okay. I just have to hit these perfectly, right? It doesn't care about how fast I'm going. Interesting. Okay. S. Keep up the good work. Okay. Immediately in a smart car. It's 2005. Love the music. Pretty satisfying. It's like a driving rhythm game, almost. It's like Gran Turismo license tests. Okay. EDT FVL Beetle. Okay. So I have to turn. I really like the menu music too. Oh, this is where I'm gonna fail, okay. Hey, it's got level design, right? It's clearly trying to teach you stuff. Okay, so perfect is if it's like bright green. It's not that demanding. So I can switch off of first person view though. Great. Need to find out if there's a button for me to change the perspective. Okay, I probably need to save that off, and if it takes that long. Oh god. The circle button was confirm. Right. Konami, triangle is cancel. Almost slalom using the acceleration indicator. Faster than the designated speed. Let's see if I can change the perspective here. It does have the kind of janky sim racer controls. Not good enough, you fool. You absolute idiot. You were unable to clear. Speeding too fast may not give you enough space to find a nice cornering line and can lead the car to go off balance. Okay. We'll stay in first person then. First try. Amazing mode. Completion rate is over 5%. Rank F cars cannot be selected in free racing. Cosmic Eggway. Cool name. Yeah, this is like a video game. You have to use specific cars for each level. Oh, it starts me already at a acceleration. It's interesting. You got licensing for real cars in this? It's wild. You need to slow down a lot there, okay. Another Mini Cooper. Brake indicators. Love that menu song. It's good. Bad. Okay. Not that hard. I have to be braking while crossing it? I'm not sure I understand. Brake indicators is a guide to time when to hit the brakes. So am I supposed to hit them prior to crossing through it or while I'm passing through it? Seems like I have to hit the last one at top speed. One I'm clearly gonna have to learn. Orange means it's too high, okay. I think I see. Yeah, I never heard of it before. It's interesting. E. I'm sad to keep moving through that menu so fast. I love that song. I see. Okay, I think I understand now. You have to hit the brakes here in order to be able to successfully hit the next one, is what they're saying. I do try to beat games on stream, but this one's just someone's adding it for me to play for a couple hours to check it out, I think. Do you have a beat condition in mind, you, Walter? It's really hard to get over there in time, unless I'm already supposed to be braking. Keep braking, it looks like. Okay. I think I just barely passed, though. D's do not get degrees, okay. Roger, roger. Hard to maintain speed there and slip at that guy. Gotta keep braking, I think, throughout that whole thing. That's better. Is the reason for doing this mode is that this unlocks cars, or I guess this is probably the most unusual thing, right? So the Gran Turismo license tests are sort of similar to this. Clipped it. That's good enough, apparently. Not amazing at the end. Car unlocked. You can now select a new car. I have very low familiarity with racing games, so. Daihatsu, thank you. Wants me to always be accelerating, it seems like. Yeah. Also has the funniest opening cutscene of all time. It's like high art. Understand it based on vibes. A racer and his child. A woman taking photos. An accident. Emotion. It's great. It's like whoever they gave the power to do the cutscene to just really wanted to do it. It was like that project. They went way harder on it than they needed to. There's not a brake indicator. The game doesn't expect me to brake or really take my finger off the gas at all. This one's tough. This is taking a while. Fail again, I might switch out of first-person view. So there's an options menu setting to default to third-person view. That's rough. Can I see it from here, maybe? Unless if that's what that is. Driving 2. Letting off the gas can help if I'm sliding in the turn. There's a bit of, it's slightly more forgiving than it appears to be when you're hitting these things. Try to already be pointed to the right, I guess, instead of in the dead center of these. Yeah, I realized what I had done there a little too late. That is hard. Okay. Even that counts as a miss, okay. Stay in first person, I suppose. Helps me be able to see the car and see what's happening when I'm turning and the like, but... Damn. This is a lot harder than any level up to this point. I'm just kind of letting off the gas constantly, and that seems to be helping quite a bit. Got me in trouble towards the end, but... All right. I do like that they start you at the beginning already moving. This would be boring if you had to accelerate every time. It's good for retrying over and over. Okay, they really mean break here. Lame. Oh god. Good enough? I think good enough. I assume that this is closer to simulationist in terms of the physics than it is to like an arcade racer. Certainly feels like it so far. But this is the kind of thing that I would love to see from the genre, right? There's levels, they're clearly increasing in intensity. Each one is trying to teach you something new that's building on the knowledge you already have. Something that's like been super absent from Forza. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be really hard for me to take this turn here. Try to figure it out. Oh, yikes. Oh, that's cool, I can do that before we wrap here. I kind of like this system too, to try to impress upon me when I should be braking in a turn. Like, it's not that dissimilar from the racing line in Forza. By drawing these points on the line, I kind of have to figure out, okay, how do I get to that point from where I am? I have to engage my brain more than I do with the Forza racing line, which is cool. Good enough. Cosmic Winding. Cool level names. Okay. How long to beat is 25 hours. I'm curious what they're playing through for that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh my god, there's so much game design. I cry, it's like I'm playing a video game. This is great. I'm enjoying this so far. Final corner, 2 indicators are placed side by side. What is the most recent, like, simulationist racing game that's even kind of similar to this? Not enough. The sad you failed music. It gives you a little feedback when you fuck it up. Driving faster so you can't make sudden line changes. I do like how fast the restart is. What's the big Gran Turismo downside compared to Forza as it exists right now, anyway? Gotta hit restart before then. I like that all these sequences are these really short, kind of pointed tests of your ability. Curious how many I'm even permitted to miss and still pass. One maybe? Maybe it depends on the rule. It's tough because you have to be like facing the right way there. Okay. Mazda. Similar lack of solo content. It's developed around multiplayer. I guess we haven't really talked about that during the Forza playthrough, to the extent to which multiplayer has kind of harmed the development of single-player games. It's generally true across all genres. It seems especially true for racing games. Car unlocked. Rank E cars. This song like this is good. Oh, traction's turned off. ESC? Emergency stopping control? Oh yeah, I feel the difference there. Ah, okay. Oh, good lord. Okay, this is gonna take a minute. I don't know how this one conveys that I'm slipping, if it's also doing rumble like Forza. Oh god, I'm so slippy. I think it still gave it to me. It seems like this game is literally what I've been asking for during Forza. Doesn't require like this like amazing game design mind to do a little mini campaign thing like this either. Oh, interesting. Huh. So jumps. Okay. It's the same area as stage 1. The car is different this time, so be aware of its difference in performance. Wonder if Gran Turismo is still... Gran Turismo is a Japanese series, right? Wonder if they've kept something at least kind of like this. It's valued more. Oh, yikes. Already be breaking. Some pretty wild screen tearing here. I might see if I can turn on VSync in the emulator. Oh, I'm like, I was like drifting there, it seemed like. Oh, that penalty for hitting the fence is bad news. Okay. Exercise careful control and power slide through the corners. Power slides through the corners. Okay. Imagine it's eventually going to force me to learn it here. Okay, so it's like tapping the brake exactly where it tells me to is what triggers the slide, essentially. Yeah, that's tough. Kind of feel what they were trying to get me to do there, which is cool. I love this. It's like, it feels like a video game. It's what I want. Tell me what car you want me to use. Tell me what lesson you're trying to teach me, right? So, well, anyone who buys a Forza game is already good at driving in video games, so they don't need this. Even then, I feel like you could make all kinds of different versions of this concept. I like how they have you do the challenge and then do the same challenge, except now with a different car. And then they do that twice. That's super frustrating, though. I can't think of any other genres that really do that, right? Like, every Mario game still tries to teach you how to play Mario. Every Metroidvania still kind of teaches you the game. Every Dark Souls game could be your first Souls game. Not good enough. Kind of a wild, like, choice to, like, focus on your existing hardcore audience so much that you feel like you don't have to, like, make video games anymore. You just make a little toy box people can play in. Actually, the force feedback in this is pretty good. Could probably weave it into the sandbox. Hey bro, just drive around stuff. Or let people put in a code to skip it or something if they really want to, but... Whoa! I don't know if that means it wants me to brake ahead of that. Let me just let off the gas. Hard disagree. Nice. Elden Ring is probably the most accessible one to start with. I don't know how to make it through that turn. They're tight enough. Okay. Sliding out of the way right away when I get there. Keep trying. To be tighter, right? Because I have to get in the inside of the turn there. That might be what they need to teach me for me to understand the structure of Forza better, because I see that the racing line is doing that, but I can usually get away with not doing it. I just don't feel like I have enough handling to, like, get in there. It wants me to accelerate through the turn, too. I know it looks like I'm just doing the same thing over and over, but I'm like, I cannot conceive of how to do it differently. There's somewhere off in the distance I should be like setting my eye line to try to hit. Read the tip next time I fail. Get through it. I had to accelerate. If that's the difference, it's probably the problem. It just means it's more forgiving than those usually are. Gotcha. Okay, I thought it was like, if you aren't holding down on the accelerator as you pass through this gate, you literally won't score you. That was the problem, and I was just holding the gas for the whole turn. I like that they make you do 2 difficult turns here, so you don't just like cheat your way through the first one and then the level's over. Make sure you actually understand it, I think. this is great. I feel like you could make many, many dozens of levels like this. What made you think to add this, Yay Walter? Recent Forza stream discussions. Yeah, I just think it's neat. I really dig it, though. I was driving this track, really? It's a real-world track, presumably. Scammed into going too fast there. Could have been better, but also significantly worse. I think I remember that tire arch. Yeah, that was great. I felt like I had the usual, like, learning progression that I expect from, like, a video game. I also really like that we got a couple levels where they wanted me to do something comparable to that, but it was just a single turn, so I might get lucky once and just end the stage. And then they throw you a version of it where, okay, we're gonna have to do it twice, so you're really gonna have to have the first one down, even if you kind of get to cheese your way through the second one. You will have learned something. Sick bass line in this song. Pick up this game's soundtrack later. Oh. So basically the accelerate ones are just like, you have to pass through this gate. We don't care about what speed you're going at all, really. Figure it out. The other ones are like, we want you to be going at this exact speed. Oh god, no, the music is amazing. Fuck licensed soundtracks. Makes it age better, too. Like, both literally in the sense that the game's not going to have a bunch of issues with being redistributed in the future. Yeah. It's cool. This game is sick. Actually kind of enjoying the, like, janky handling, too. Cars would stop it anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh no. Oh, fun little Konami game. I miss Konami. Similar to the one I did with a different car, presumably. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So did anyone notice the main difference between the car I'm using right now and the one from the earlier stage that was the same? Start trying to pay closer attention to, maybe I can click on the specs button and try to pay attention. This game, it feels like I can actually like learn something from it. Where it's, so far, it's all kind of noise in Forza. It helps that it's like positioning the same challenge, right? But with one variable changed. In this case, the car. Probably not acceptable to miss one. This is quite a bit harder than the other car. It was like slippery, maybe? There is still a minimum it cares about. It's just not as punishing as the one with a line. We have to do 3 this time. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, this level's really hard, but I'm excited. This is where Gran Turismo license test would have gone if they had evolved a bit. Back in 2005. But even if this was the entire game and you had like, you know, a couple hundred levels of this, you can start to kind of imagine all sorts of different twists and takes on it, trying to explore different concepts. I'm already like a gigantic fan of the Bob It Is You, do that same level again, but we change something approach. Ow. Still drive through, just try to learn the end here. Yeah, this one's a bit of a marathon. I like that it's like, okay, use all the things we just taught you to do this one segment. What is ESC? Is that emergency brake? Emergency stopping control or something? Is it gonna give it to me? Ah, okay, I can't miss any gates. Got it. Try practicing stages 1 through 3. Stability control. So what is that doing for me? Oh. I feel like this is tricky enough that like even someone who's really good at racing games might have to retry it a couple times to nail it. I don't know, if you like give them special rewards if they get an S rank and get extra cars early or something. I think it is really a problem that racing games have decided they don't need to teach you how to play racing games as part of like the normal play experience. not even like, okay, put it, you know, hide it in an optional tutorial. Games don't work that like that, right? Every Resident Evil game has like a build up. They don't just like throw you the rocket launcher on the first screen. Balls. Okay, that time. The biggest budget racing games need to appeal to impatient people. It's frustrating. It's like uncanny the extent to which this was exactly what I was envisioning when I was talking about this during Forza. I really like that you're constantly being graded at each of the steps of the race, too. And you're kind of allowed a certain budget of mistakes, but you can kind of feel, okay, I only got a B rank, but I know where I got the B rank. I know it was that one turn where I missed a gate, or I came at it too slow, or whatever, right? So it's able to give you, like, kind of broad information and very specific information at the same time, which is cool. Right. I wonder if it was like the Gran Turismo license tests are... The way this is presented is working for me as well. It's not just like the content, which I could imagine the content in the first like 3 stages maybe being someone rolling their eyes like, come on, let me just race, right? But I really like the structure of the different stages. Oh, this one is rain. Okay. I like the kind of variable difficulty where you'll get one that's trying to teach you a basic idea, or you'll get one that's trying to get you to synthesize the ideas you've learned. Ooh. That's correct. Oh yeah, good call. This might be helpful for Forza. Yeah, so I wonder if Gran Turismo does it, and everybody hates it because it's boring, and everyone's like, okay, well, you can only ever try something once. So since it sucked once, let's never do that again. And it's like, but you could, like, iterate on it and make it better. No, never. I don't know, if I was like super into racing games, I mean, I'm enjoying it as an outsider, but I feel like if I was even super into racing games, it would be fun to just try to get perfect scores on these, especially if they were able to give you a car or something. And I don't see why they couldn't still make a impatient mode, jump into free play or whatever, and it just lets you drive around, but... Ooh boy, yeah, the rain is brutal. I think the hypothetical impatient player is actually pretty easy to satisfy. It's actually, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's much easier to satisfy the impatient player than it is to satisfy the patient one. Which is why they only satisfy the impatient player, I guess. Because, like, making a game would be work. Yeah, I think this game is doing a really good job of, like, doing the passive synapse building thing I was talking about. Ah, shit. I'm obviously still not good at the game, but there's a clear difference between me attempting a course now, you know, an hour in versus at the very beginning. And that hasn't been me. I'm not like deliberately thinking, oh, I need to like tap the stick in this direction, right? My brain's just been kind of figuring it out without me thinking about it. Now that people are hacking Forza 4, add this into Forza 4. Replace the racing line with these things. This is so much more information too than the like turn indicator that's like, oh, you got 4 pips. So it's like, well, there's a lot of stuff going into those 4 pips. It's not like one of them is talking about how well I accelerated and one is talking about how well I timed the brake or whatever. Whereas just throwing you supercars early, yeah. Do you think that impatience is actually real? Like, I imagine it's, to some extent it's real, but if you were to just bullshit off the top of your head, do you think like 90% of the hardcore racing fan base is impatient? Do you think it's like 50%, 40%, right? I'm wondering if it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy thing that the creators of racing games assume that that's true. I was positing last Forza episode that I suspect, I suspect that, like, there's a lot of vibes going on in the racing game community that people can kind of vaguely feel that something's off or things used to be better with older racing games, but they can't really, like, articulate exactly what those issues are, other than to kind of vaguely say, yeah, I don't like it these days as much as I used to. Always attract a bunch of new people dipping their toe in because of the zeitgeist, right? Yeah, I wonder if it's a... So there's a problem, I don't know if I'm gonna... I might end up making the RuneScape 3 video essay. This is the modern version of RuneScape rather than the old school version. And something I've noticed about that game's design is that it seems to, like, there's like demands from the higher-ups that they really try to sell it to a brand new player, but they also, the higher-ups don't seem to have any conception of how a brand new player might actually play the game. So they keep doing things with the game that are actually making the overall experience for a new player significantly worse, thinking that they're doing this like accessibility thing or this new player onboarding thing, but it makes things more muddled or makes things less interesting. And I guess they kind of have a problem because they can't really like test, you know, if you want to bring on a new player to see if your proposed concept is good, they need to play the game for 1,000 hours to count as a new player actually giving a full feedback experience, right? But I wonder to what extent something similar is happening with racing games, that it's like they think they know how they're going to bring in new players, and the new players come in and see what it is and they're like, what the fuck is this? This is nonsense, and they just quit, right? Really, that's interesting. Yeah, because RS3 kind of is the equivalent of giving you a Game Genie code, right? It lets you jump right to the end at the beginning, and it's like, well, that's fine in like World of Warcraft, you know, and WoW, it makes sense that you would let the players skip to the end because most of the content is in the current expansion, and that's where you can play with your friends and stuff. But RuneScape's structure is this gigantic, you know, 3,000 hour single player game that's like fundamentally about patience. It's about enduring tests of patience and persistence. And so like, if you create content that lets players skip to the end of the game, the game was supposed to be about patience. What are you doing? So I don't think that racing games are about patience necessarily, but persistence. But I imagine something analogous is going on there. Balls. It's pretty wild. I think I am going to make that video. I have to finish beating the game first, doing my research essentially, but RuneScape 3 is fine, and here's why. I think that's also kind of the diagnosis of racing. Racing games are fine, right? And that's the problem, is that they're just fine. They're like not inspired to be amazing anymore anyway. And it makes it a lot harder, because it's one thing if they were like absolute dog shit, but they're not like dog shit. They're fine. So they're generally, the market is satisfied with them in their current form. Yeah, they're hugely expensive to make, right? They're kind of dog shit? Okay, fair enough. RS3 is kind of dog shit. I mostly would say that to do a little olive branch thing. Not total dog shit. This game is fun as hell. I'm having a really good time with it. Failing is fun. I think that's the like crucial aspect of a game like this. Like, it has to be fun to fail. You have to understand what happened, what you did wrong, what you should try next time to improve it. Like, it kind of has this cool, like, you're getting the run. This is the run where I'm going to make that final turn, and then you miss it. You go, ah! All right, next time we're going to get it, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, no, it's a good time. Same area, the car is different this time, so be aware of its performance. Oh, I wanted to look at the specs. I think there's a button to let me do that. Okay. I think this would be improved by telling me specifically what's most significantly different from the previous car. So slippery, jeez. I think the like ramp up in this game is really good too, so that they're turning things off when they know the player understands what turning it off is going to do to them. Right on. I think if you want to keep this on subblock, I'm down to keep going through this mode, and then check out the rest of the game. But this is sick. Very fun time. Ooh-wee. Ooh, I'm slip sliding around. Okay. All right, braking there is a bitch. Got it. I really love the soundtrack. A lot of like awesome funky bass. I do like the big penalty for bumping the wall. I know how to brake safely there without sliding all the way across the map. Oh god! Ah! Yeah, that's cool. There's like some track identity. I'm probably going to remember some of the individual bits from like this short subblock better than any of the tracks in Forza so far. I guess I'll probably remember that Alps track because it's got the nice wide turns you can take when you're going really fast. Maybe that Italy one. All the other courses so far are just like will not stick in my memory at all. I wonder if you could do like a multiplayer that uses this. I imagine you could, if you can algorithmically generate the racing line in a game like Forza, right? At least today you can. But you could make randomly generated courses that have little gates like this that you have to drive through. Such a dangerous long break. I love that long break though because it forces me to understand, like, I have to hold the brake. There's no option than to like slam it down and hold it down until I get to that gate, right? I can't get away with pumping or whatever. That doesn't have any parallel to real life motorsport. Yeah, I'll say it again. I was saying this during Forza that I think a significant part of the problem is that a lot of other things you want to try to simulate, there are like almost like geometric barriers to simulating it. You cannot really make a football game that's like what it's actually like to play football in real life. Like, it's more interesting to control the whole team or whatever. Oh, this is an interesting map. It's really just 3 big things I have to do. Okay. Use speed minimally and avoid wall collision. That racing has the problem because racing can actually get pretty close to what like actual racing is like, at least, you know, physically. So there's not any need to abstract stuff like there is when you decide to make a football game and you want, you know, to determine how you control the whole team. Okay, I need to get perfect on that last thing. This is a great level. I love this. I can probably go to hit retry if I don't see it green early enough. Counted as penalty. Fuck, the real world make a video game is a minority opinion. Yeah. Well, at the same time, I expect there's some element of self-fulfilling prophecy happening there, that the devs think that this is what players want, and players don't even really necessarily know what they want, right? Nobody's taking risks, I guess, is the problem, right? They're just putting out the thing that they know audiences will like, for sure. I don't know what's happening. This level rules. I love that it's just 3 little gates. Trying to teach you one very specific thing here. You did not learn it. I love that this second gate is like tiny and in the middle here. I assume that's to help you find the line. Oh, I think I would have gotten it if I hadn't bumped into the wall. Not gonna get away with that. That's fair. because I'm losing speed when I'm like sliding like that. Oh, is it? Interesting. So there's a way to do this where I could have way more speed. Yeah, nice. Good enough. Excellent level. Big fan. Autumn Mountain. Hug the outer edge of the track. Don't bump the wall. This one was much easier handling. Oh! I think it feeling good to fail is probably like the biggest advantage this has had over the other similar games I've played. I really liked Midnight Club 2, even though I was bad at it. Like, it felt very satisfying to win, but failing always felt so brutal because there was enough like randomness that I wasn't sure if it was my fault or traffic's fault. And if it happened at like the 6-minute mark on a 7-minute track, it was like the consequences were so high. Here, I mean, this is a relatively long track. I guess I could have kept going there because I was already full. It can feel good to optimize the start of it, right? Try to live with it. Like, you get a pretty significant point boost for getting perfects. Make up for an error. It's possible, yeah. I'd love to see an indie dev try to make Enthusia. Although again, it seems like the physics are a pain in the ass to spin up. Feels like that's what it's gonna take. Like, someone's gonna have to make like an open source racing game. I wouldn't say physics engine, but like a set of rules that people can just use and tweak. So everyone's not having to reinvent the wheel every time. Yeah. It's really hard not to bump the wall there. Hey, you got the amen break in this song. Man, fuck licensed soundtracks. Seriously. I just don't understand. There's a very small number of even movies, I think, where using like licensed music is legitimate. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like super legitimate, right? Like Baby Driver or something, but don't you want someone to make their own music? Yeah, I never heard of this at all. Certainly didn't know Konami did a game like this. Wall I always bump into. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll be ready for that. So much VSync screen tearing, jeez. Don't hit the wall. Oh shit, hit the wall. Yeah, I think you could make a stylized game. You'd still, getting the physics to feel right would still be really hard, but make a stylized game like this. Even this whole, I think this mode has legs. I don't know. I mean, you could argue that it's like a training mode for people who are good at racing games, but I think you could really do some crazy stuff with this. Make some really interesting levels. Really let the player feel good for like sight reading it. I think that's another thing. Although I'm not sight reading really any of these stages, every time I fail, it's like, ah, I see how I could have seen what I was supposed to do. Part of it is what makes failing feel good. Or just cell shading with the physics aren't great. Is that a Capcom game then? Two indicators side by side. Those are tough. Yeah, I like what they can do here just with the size of the indicators. Nope. It doesn't feel degenerate with other indicator patterns, right? Oh, oof. They go way slower at the end, got it. You do not need to apply much speed in this stage. Focus on applying steering inputs. Is that even legal? How dare they? Oh! I like that missing a gate actually docks you points too. Although I guess with the way it works, I wish that the meter started full, right? Imperfects kept it full. It'd be easier to tell, like, how big of a fuck up your fuck up was without finishing the race. Yeah, I agree. This game definitely succeeds for me anyway. They really want me to break there, damn, okay. It wants me to, like, stop, okay. Sure. This is the cool level. This one's already, like, super different than a lot of the other levels. This is the first level that I've had to stop. And it's still able to communicate it using its existing system of gates. And, like, now I suspect it's gonna make me stop, yeah. Because they did it the first time and it was surprising, and then I was able to sight read it at the end. Cool. Smart, smart, smart. Edge of the road. Counter steer on the dirt course. Might get destroyed here. But I imagine I'm, like, in the space of having a bunch of little challenges, I'm, like, learning things that are maybe transferable. At least they're transferable to other challenges inside of this game. So when they say counter steering here, do they mean literally turning the wheel in the wrong direction that I want to be turning on? Like pushing the handlebars in the wrong direction on a motorcycle? Oh, I like the two of those back to back there. Someone should make the first person view you only play as, like, the tight end football game. See if it's even any good. I think that's the analogy for racing games. It's gotta be like real racing. Gotta be realistic. Ugh. I want people to feel like they're playing a video game. I don't realize they're not actually racing. Not quite good enough. Seriously gonna download this game's soundtrack, it's really good. Good on value there. No! No! Grates are gonna cut it. We'll see. Nice. Yeah. I think there's like two aspects to the realism thing though, right? Like there's okay, I want it to be realistic and then I don't want to have a ghost car or the ability to pancake other drivers into the walls and stuff. Fine. But like you can still make game mechanics, like kind of abstract game mechanics that use your realistic car and your realistic driving, right? Like I don't have like a button to launch a boost flame out the back of my car in this game. I don't have like a jump button or something, right? All that they've done is they've made these kind of courses with this sort of abstract gate mechanic, which feels video gamey, but like the car still doesn't. I don't feel like I'm playing Mario Kart, right? And it's like I think they take the realism thing so far. It's like you can't have anything that feels like a video game. And I guess it should be important to mention that, like, I guess there's a place for that. There's a place for the simulation Microsoft Flight Sim thing that's more like a toy or a tool. Which is a bummer that that's all there is. So like if they want to do one thing, they have to go all the way with it for some reason. DRS. Not like the GameStop conspiracy theory DRS, the Formula 1 DRS. Race through a jump spot at high speeds. Whoa. I like what this game does too with the first person like speed indicator. It's a little cartoonish, but it adds some, like, you know, anime majesty lines on the edges of the screen to help me to kind of understand how fast I'm actually going. I still have a really bad time of, like, noticing that in Forza so far. Yeah, those already exist then, right? All right. Yes. Finally get my minivan level. Let's go. It's gonna make me not want to have a minivan. Oh shit, yeah, they're not kidding, damn. Okay. Holy shit. I guess I couldn't clip it like that. Finally, a real race car. It actually has me kind of excited to see what the faster like sports and race cars are like in this game. There's like mystique around it because the levels all feel so different from each other whenever they put you in a really different car. So like, what are they going to do with the design space? How are they going to lay out the track? Whereas when I play Forza, it's like, well, I got a better car, which means it controls like shit. I think the reality is that it controls different, right? But because the game doesn't do enough to like make you feel like you're playing something distinct when you're in a fast car versus a slow car, it just kind of feels like, well, I was doing the same thing earlier at slower speeds just fine, and now it's like, now I'm having to fight it. I could see like a sports car level in this game being like really hard, but there being like a natural like escalation that makes that feel rewarding to unlock. It's like you want the difficulty to go up as you're getting better cars. That makes perfect sense. But you don't want the player to feel like they're being nerfed, I guess. Which is kind of how it feels in Forza for me anyway. Oh god. Okay. Minivan is kicking my ass here. It's a good song too. Oh. I really like the sound design on like the perfect greats and goods. Yeah, I'm glad we're playing Forza on stream. Don't take me like taking every opportunity to say, man, this game is so much better than Forza. It's helping me to articulate my problems with Forza better, and I think that's kind of like it's the trauma bonding game, right? So I hope that's okay. Why is it like this? It doesn't have to be. It could be so much better. It's the way it is fine. Oh no! Wait. I can salvage it. Kind of a messy finish, but. I think it'd be cool to mix this with like the Trackmania kind of style levels too. Like completely ridiculous, unrealistic Hot Wheels stages, but with this like gate system. It's such a simple concept. I think it works really well. Oh god. This is a level. Damn, that's way different. You're not crazy. Wow, that feels really good. Feels less good. Okay, come on, we're good. Oh, those bads at the end is probably going to cost me. Bads are significantly better than a miss, though? Just about to find out. Not that much better, okay. That level's so different from every other level I've done. If you're only looking at the upcoming indicator, you won't have enough time to anticipate the next. Sight read a few indicators ahead. Fair. Hitting all of those feels so good. If I can do it, which I don't frequently do. I see what they mean about looking ahead. Yeah, I had to learn that pretty early on. Motorcycle, like, you just kind of automatically go in the direction your eyes are looking without thinking about it. Oh no! Things are going so well. You really have to look to the end of the turn. Very messy, but potentially salvageable. A little ugly. Don't spin out this time. There we go. Nice. Yeah, the first few levels are like, okay, it's a license test, I get it. And now it's like, oh, they actually do some cool shit with this. I feel like it's really important in video games to have, like, the, like, really hard surprise difficulty spike, right? I think that it's important that Dark Souls has the area in Anor Londo where there's these really unfair archers, right? It's like this, like, common point of experience. Like, extremes are good in game design, I think it turns out. There's an interesting design delve video on Second Wind about why Blighttown sucks in Dark Souls 1 and how it's, like, actually kind of good that it sucks. But it wouldn't be as good of a game if Blighttown was, like, perfectly designed. So I like having these occasional, like, really hard or very unique challenges that just stand out from the rest of the game. When I talk about in Forza that I'm like, okay, so what do people play this for? Like, what's the thing around the corner that they're trying to get to? And the answer is catching all the Pokemon, I guess. I don't know, getting first place in all of the checklist levels. But here I'm, like, actively super stoked. Like, what's the next level going to be? Are they going to do some crazy thing? Like, are they going to have me drive like a giant truck or something, right? Are we going to get another level where there's only 3 gates and it's just trying to perfect a very difficult acceleration after a tricky turn? Like, I keep getting the opportunity to look inside of the designers' brains, which is something I don't think you get to do in a sandbox very much. Man, that's really hard to not hit the wall there. This control's great on an emulator, by the way. I'm playing this on PC SX2, whatever the main PS2 emulator is. It's been perfect. Finally made that without touching the wall. Excuse me. Oh god. I actually do kind of want me to stop there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I probably asked the same question in a game that had a strong dopamine aspect, but which didn't have a... Maybe the word is novelty? I've used, like, cathartic milestone before. Like, what's the thing that you do that you feel catharsis when it's done, and now you do something new that also gives you catharsis? But I guess it's looking for the non-degenerate, you know, next stage that has a unique design or layout or something. A new way to be in the creator's brain a little bit. And I think that Forza has a lot of, like, in addition to kind of being arranged like a sandbox, like structurally, it also makes it difficult for me to get in the creators' brains because they've put so many tools in to give me control over the game design, like being able to upgrade the cars, right, to use them in any race. I personally don't like being given a lot of agency over the like actual design of the game. That's probably why I don't like RTS games, because I feel like they're all about that phenomenon. Missed him again. Okay, I really got to turn tight there. But I guess I'd have to explore that more, because I love a game like Teardown or Tears of the Kingdom, which are both games about, hey, here's a room where you can kind of figure out what one of the things we envision you to do, but you can also break it if you want to. I guess that feels different than like participating in the game design, like picking cars in Forza feels like I'm doing. I really am not taking that tight enough. I think the fact that I'm in first person is making that extra hard to see. I can basically stop there and get up to speed after the turn. Somewhat acceptably. Shit. Yeah, exactly. That's an acceptable but not ideal solution to the problem. Oh. Every time I make a little input error like that where I like completely miss the turn, I'm reminded like how much the game is asking of me every second I'm playing it. So it also does a good job of letting you do the video game, like, look back down the mountain and see how far you've come thing. Ooh, it's maybe unacceptable. I think bads don't penalize you, but they don't give you any meter either. Ass keeps swinging into the wall behind me. The wall is a huge hazard in this stage. Big problem here is not being able to see those gates. I tried doing this in third person, maybe I'll have an easier time. No, I've done too much muscle memory for first person. I'll figure it out. The stage is really quite difficult. I need to brake suddenly, sharply into this turn so that I can suddenly turn to face these. Take goods. Ah, I felt my butt going towards the wall there. Didn't correct for it in time. Wish I had a better solution for this. I think I did it intuitively, like the first time I came through here, and haven't been able to recreate it since. I saw that they wanted me to brake at that turn. I'm like, okay, well, it probably wants me to go deep inside. What? Yep. Idiots who go out wide and then you come in. Maybe that makes more sense. Do it in a way that doesn't cause my ass to bump into the wall, which it almost did there. Saved it at the last second. Not good enough. Okay. Got to get more perfects. Memorize where the indicators are, since you won't be able to see the next indicator in some areas. I like that they just outright tell you that. Like, yeah, you're not going to sight read this one, bud. Actually, this is probably a really good format to get me to memorize a track. If you were to, like, take a big, like, track and break it up into a bunch of really hard little sequences like this, and I have to, like, practice each of them, like, 50 times until I clear it, and then you tell me to do a whole race at the end, I'd probably do pretty well. Just barely got it, it looks like. Nice. One stage, that was a good one. The car restrictions favor going by car type. Diverse restrictions by decade, country. Yeah, exactly. Why do you have all these cars if the, the solution is to just say, we use whatever one you want, whatever, it's fine. Speedyapolis ring. I think I've heard the phrase Trans Am before. It's already a pretty different car. It's already going quite fast to start. This is like a NASCAR track. Pseudo NASCAR track. There's so much variety in this game. At no point does it become arcadey, I don't think. Did really well in my first attempt. I see. Wow, I really did well on my first attempt. I didn't realize it. I'm choking at the very end. Maybe more on the inside than the outside. Yeah, I love the music in this game. Really good. Has some Eurobeat, but that's not all of it. Some pretty funky tracks. This is like hair metal. Nice. It's in Forza 4, right on. Oh god. Experience speeds over 200 miles an hour. We gonna get crazy, like, Majesty speed lines? Yes, we are. Okay. Yeah, they make that pretty clear. Wow, like, I've heard people talk about downforce before, but I can feel it on this car? Nice, that was fun. I love Joe Satriani. A fast slalom over a speed of 120 miles per hour. I'm glad this is the default mode on the title screen. I'm curious what the rest of the game is like after this. It looks like there was, in fact, a free play mode. This is really hard. Okay, this is gonna take me a while. Balls. I think there's something about the way this car controls where it's like I'm going so fast, the car really wants to go forward, so I can kind of do this zigzag pattern without having to like steer back that much. Slow it down a little bit, I think. I really like that this is a kind of silly thing, but I like that the game grades you on your speed at every individual gate. Because that's another problem I have with racing games, is that it's like all that matters is when you cross the finish line, but no, everything matters in this. The speed I'm going at every single gate is important. And there's a certain threshold of sloppy that's just like unacceptable in this. No, it's too annoying to get there. I think good is maybe quite bad, actually. One miss is maybe acceptable. Not with all those goods, though. Oh. I'm doing a full track. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, and like I've never played a rhythm game where like the practice mode is fun to play. It always feels like I guess I gotta go practice this. It would be kind of cool to have a rhythm game where it's like, okay, we're gonna have real songs in here, but we're also gonna have songs that are just intended to teach you this weird like hammer-on pull-off pattern that the guitarist from Boston really likes for some reason. It's in all of his songs. Might not finish this before stream's over. I'll try. Should be a good welcome to Enthusia bitch level to start on, though, next episode. I think I keep losing too much speed while trying to, like, make this happen. Maybe I can, like, slide through some of them? Did it by accident there. Maybe I need to, like, touch the edges of them instead. Oh god, sorry about the cursor. What happened? Didn't move far enough to the right. Yeah, it starts... They're not quite straight, which I'm only just now realizing. Last couple start angling in the right direction. Oh yeah, good call, thank you. This is still very difficult. Like, conceptually it looks really simple. Each time I get to a new one though, it's like hurting so bad from the decisions I've already made. Kind of really about being perfect for the whole race, it seems like. It does seem like it's a teach you how much the car really wants to pull straight forward level. Touch my butt into the wall! That was close. Nice, perfect timing. Future Marstead, drive through the green gates. Brake when you see yellow gates. That's it. It's really, really, really intuitive and fun as hell. Let me save, and I'll also make a save state just in case. Oh shit, I did, right, because circle is confirmed. Yeah, this is really, really good. This is probably the most fun, like, racing game I've played that skews realistic. I need to find where the save screen is. Hold on. Keeps putting me back in the tutorial here. Option, save. Okay. Yes. And I will also save state. That's fine. All right, and we'll be back in a little bit with Intermittent Grove.